everyone, it's Mira from Fruit Village, and I show you this beautiful biriba until I have my guests coming. And I am here today with Kiko from Japan, and we will talk about nature and Namado and permaculture. And until we invite her in the chat, I show you a biriba from our own farm. And yeah, it's creamy and tastes like a vanilla pie with lemon. And yeah, it's an amazing fruit, and it can fruit in just 2 or 3 years. So that's a nice, beautiful fruit. Hello.
Hi, Mira. Oh my God, what a
Hi.
beautiful view to start.
Yeah, this is Rollinia from our farm, and it fruits in 2, 3 years.
Oh my God, that's very fast.
Yeah, beautiful, isn't it?
Yes,
Have you
amazing.
tasted it in Costa Rica?
That, outer part, it looks like is it guanabana?
No, it's a relative of guanabana. It's sweet and like vanilla pie. And the pudding, yeah, this one.
Yeah, no, I didn't taste it. And I'm thinking, how much have I missed? Because I think maybe black sapote, I didn't even get to eat. Are you originally from Costa Rica?
No, we are from Europe, from Hungary.
Ah, from Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I lived in Costa Rica for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, near Divilia, the northern airport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, nice meeting you finally.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
I mean,
Yes.
you are fantastic. I was so impressed. You are a mother of four,
Mm-hmm.
doing schooling, and you're doing this permaculture. On top of that, you have a mama's private community.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, the mother private community is just in the beginning, so we started now. But yeah, that's something I love to do. Mothering is really my best thing. And yeah, permaculture is great. I love permaculture. And the whole fruit farm and permaculture is because of the kids. So I'm very motivated to do
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
fantastic. I'm so excited to connect with you, Mira, today because today's topic was the what was it? That
Connection with nature, Namado and permaculture. Yes.
connection
And
with nature, and just like you, as you shared in your book, you shared with your partner, you share and finding the best place possible, and you didn't find it, so you decided to create your own space, right? You studied a lot, and I can relate to that a lot because I too myself I have been looking for land in Latin America. I put down payments in Mexico, and especially when I was living in Costa Rica, I was very much interested in, this raw vegan lifestyle. There's many people from all over the world to move to Costa Rica, and I couldn't find the place. And now I'm back in Japan, my homeland, and it's been almost 3 years living in this land. I have kiwi vines, and actually I have quite a few fruit trees, and it's amazing what nature gives to us. And I'm thinking why people are not, just planting at least one fruit tree in their, small land. It's so once the fruit tree, but once it starts blossoming, it's just you don't have to take care so often, right? I
yeah,
mean, is that how you feel?
yeah, absolutely. We just plant a fruit tree, take care of it for the starting period, like a year, and then we just need to give back some compost or mulching, and it will give fruit for tens of years after it starts to fruit. So it's like the best investment in if we look at our work and time and money, and we get the best beautiful amazing gifts like yeah this one from the garden, and it's
Yes,
just we just walk out and oh it's yellow we can get it, and it's so easy, it's very easy. Yeah.
that's amazing. So I've been also trying. I've learned permaculture. I've also done gardening here and there, and finally having my own land here in Kyoto. And I feel like everything I learned uh, is completely different. I feel like every land you have to communicate really close to nature, right? Do, have you gone through the same, or you feel like your base is pretty solid with permaculture?
Nope, we came here. I didn't study permaculture before we came here because I felt I don't want to have concepts in my mind. So I wanted to come here and just follow what I experience and observe. And we came from a higher altitude where we had a nice garden where we rented, and we planted fruit trees there also, and we had a lot of greens and bananas there. So we came here, and then we did the same here than there. But the plants they didn't react the same way. So things didn't grow like they grew there. Or for some plants, the sunshine was too much because it's hotter here. Like and yeah, we had to adapt. And we also looked around in our neighborhood. What do they grow and how do they do it and what plants do they grow? And yeah, we tried a lot. I planted when I realized that it's different here. For example, I had Bella, which is a perennial green, and I planted that for several spots, like full sun, partial shade, and then more shade, and yeah, more drainage, less drainage, and for different spots on the land. So I could find out what does it like here. And when I felt that okay, I am now it's better, and I would like to yeah put this all this knowledge into a system, then I studied I studied syntropic agriculture before permaculture because someone told me, my husband told me that hey, you are doing that. I mean, you do syntropic agroforestry, you just don't know it. and and yeah, I checked it and I started to learn, and I did something similar because I plant very densely. I plant a lot of support plants. I chop and drop, and yeah, I give a lot of mulch for them, and I plant a self-sufficient system, so we don't need to bring anything from outside. We make our own fertilizer from our own plants, and yeah, things like that. And yeah, it was very similar to syntropic. So I studied syntropic, and it put me in a different place and a different perspective, and it so my refined my way of seeing things. And then I said, okay, now it's time to get a permaculture design course, and I went to Jeff Lawton's online
Mm.
permaculture course, and it was great. It was amazing. It changed a lot how I see things. Yeah,
Mm.
but the most important thing to do it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you sort of connected, you've learned so many things, but you sort of connected the dots. But finally, the doing it is what is the most important, and you have to trial and error. And I was so uh, even though I learned so much for myself, I learned so much. I learned so many knowledge from different parts of the world, bits and pieces. But I never felt like I'm good enough to try because I didn't have a proper land.
Mm-hmm.
And now, about 3 years ago, I moved to this land. And for first year, I could not touch my land. I was just so scared that I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I completely frozen.
Wow.
And maybe for almost a year, I just look at my garden because someone else used to live and they completely neglected the garden. And I just felt the garden was not quite welcoming. And we didn't want to spend time in our garden because it just wasn't the nice feeling, because it just shows that the previous owner didn't care at all. So I was thinking and thinking, like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And then little by little I started, and I'm just really impressed how much it's giving me back. Like, just take it for example, for the kiwi vines that I mentioned. I planted it less than 2 years ago. It was just a tiny vine, female and male kiwi. And the first, just I remember having one or two flowers that really made me feel, oh my God, that's amazing. One, two flowers. And then the second year, maybe four, five flowers. And I was very careful with the flowers not to touch closely. And, I remember the excitement of each flowers. And this year, there's so many flowers that I cannot even count. They just like millions of flowers blossoming, and it's only 2 years. And yeah, I cannot wait for the fruits to blossom. But it's just amazing how much it gives back.
Yes, I love that you started little by little. I think that's a very good way to start it. To just start, okay, just make one bed, one raised bed, or one clean one spot and do it very well. Put our attention there, and then learn what we can from there and expand from there, so we don't expand our mistakes. And I saw photos of your garden, and it's beautiful. So I didn't think that 2 years ago you were still like frozen. It's amazing. Your work is amazing.
Oh,
So
thank you. That means
yeah,
to me. But when I look at your book, right, Mira, uh, it looks like you had a beautiful design. Like, how was your journey though? Because like I shared, my journey was, I mean, completely frozen. I couldn't do anything. I was so scared to touch. And yours looks so well designed. So my question is that, did you guys have like a good design to begin with and then start, or you just started without the design?
yeah. When we moved here, we started without the design. We planted our fruit trees in an existing tree system, and we had our concepts, which were right or wrong, and it turned out which is good and which is not good in time. So yeah, we learned a lot, and I learned for 4 years on the land, and also on the permaculture design course and agroforestry system. And I studied soil biology to make it better, because there was a part on our land that was sprayed right before us, and nothing really wanted to grow there. I mean, bananas, they didn't grow, or sugarcane, so, or papaya, nothing, just weeds. And I wanted to understand this better. Yeah, but now if I would start over, I would definitely go with the design. It would be a lot better. I can see, oh, okay, this is not the place where I should have planted the durian trees. I should have planted the jackfruits here because it's a little bit lower, the drainage is less, so I should have planted the jackfruits here. And then, oh, okay, the house. I shouldn't put the house exactly here. I should put like 20 meters away from this place because the water is better there, the drainage is better. So now I'm just walking and say, oh, okay, I should have done this in different way. But I see, when we think back of our ways of doing things and we think, oh, I should do it differently now, then that's a good sign, because we learned. So I am always happy when I have this feeling that, oh, this should be different, but because I'm better than I was 2 or 3 years ago, and that's great. I love this. So it's not a bad thing to say, okay, I know now better. It's a good thing. And before you answer, I would like you to share a little bit about your book and the term of Namado, because I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I love hearing all your stories. Okay, so namado, nama means raw in Japanese, and do means path or journey. And do is something very close to our culture, so we use it for chado or sado, which means a tea ceremony. Kado, which means Japanese flower arrangement. We have kyudo, shodo, judo. There's so many do, which usually it started with the master, and there it's very traditional. So you sort of follow the master, and
Hmm.
there are certain way to really do certain things. And Namado is actually a made up word by me. And I chose this word because, you know, I have been on this raw vegan journey for over 20 years. And, when I found it, I felt like, oh, I found the destination. This is it. I found the paradise. No more research. It's so simple. And over 20 years, I've realized this is not. There's so many discoveries in this journey. Uh, so, you know, when I was searching for a book title, this is my very first book. I've been wanting to write for the 20 years. And I said, well, with my roots, Japanese culture, I said, well, this is perfect. But I have a feeling that most Japanese people would hate it because, it's and when you they make the word of something traditional, they tend to hate it. But I don't know. People around me, Japanese people, have been really kind and nice to me. So they didn't give me a bad, like a negative feedback. They seem to love it. But I said, this resonate with me, so I don't care. So that's how I made my book title.
Yeah, though I practiced karate before before we moved to the farm, and we left we live close to a town, and there is a very amazing dojo there. And yeah, the do is dojo. That's also the do, I think. And we also learned like basic Spanish words, like yeah, I know chuzoku and kakato and things like that, like body parts, and yeah, and each Nissan yon in like numbers. And yeah, and I got a taste of Japanese culture because I studied karate. And yeah, it's in a way it's very impressive, but also I can see it sometimes it's a bit rigid, and there is not yeah, your flexibility is amazing, but I can see it's not exactly rooted in your culture. So how do you
Yeah.
feel like yeah.
Yeah, so as you probably learned from karate, it's not about winning the fight, right?
Yeah.
It's about practicing, and you're also learning about yourself, and the person you're going to face is sort of like a mirror. So it's somehow similar to all the do, like other do we have here in Japan. But again, yeah, how do I feel about it? I mean, like I said, I felt true. And I know I searched online and I found that Namado doesn't exist. I said, well, why not? So I got my website name, my website name is nama.ovh, because .com is more expensive. So I just got the cheaper one. I say, well, this is easy to remember. So it doesn't matter. Name is just a name, and it's short to remember for everyone. It's a simple pronunciation for everyone. And again, it's rooted back to it's a journey. It's not the destination. Just like gardening, right? I learned so much from nature, and especially springtime here in Japan, and the flowers are popping up, and I'm thinking, oh wow, what a joy to live in. world. The paradise is it's truly here, I feel.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I feel like that as well. I just walk out and and yeah, it's like walking in a I'm walking in a forest every morning just to have a little walk with my baby, and she always wants to be outside. And when we get our wheelbarrow and go to harvest bananas, and yeah, it's sometimes I do a live here during the bundle because we do the bundle now, and I spend a lot of time online, but what I usually don't do. And I just feel like I'm a little bit of like tired or not after a live or after like making posts, and I just walk out and then, oh wow, I wake up, oh yes, that's my reality, yeah, okay, I'm fine, everything is good because birds are here, the trees are green, I have the smell of the grass, and fruits are ripening and flowers are here, and I can see the lizards, okay, so yeah, everything is fine, everything is perfect because it's so different. I can feel the sunshine and I can feel the smell of the rain. It's it just puts me back. Every time I go out to the garden, it's so easy because I have my garden and I just go out and I'm filled up. So I think it's very amazing to have natural environment around us. And we had a little conversation that even if someone lives in a city, can have plants inside and can grow some sprouts and have house plants inside. So yeah, what is your view on that? How can we put nature into our life?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much for connecting back to our topic. So yeah, how to connect to nature. Yeah, step outside. Nature is actually everywhere. Like Mira and I are very lucky to have our own land to play with. But we didn't have that all the time. Like when I was living in Tokyo with like not much greenery, I love doing sprouts. Like sprouts is like an instant gratitude, right? It just sprouts so easily and it grows so fast. It's just so beautiful to see that it could be in a tiny apartment. Not even, you don't even need to have a light for doing the sprouts. There's so many ways to enjoy. Also, now it's becoming, composting became quite a trend here in Japan. So a lot of people in Tokyo, of course, they mostly live in a very small apartment, but there's this one company who started this composting bags. So you can actually do the compost indoor. It completely zip, and you can just keep on adding your compost, and it generates. And a lot of people are doing that nowadays, which is great. That's also part of you know being part of this cycle, like understanding that there's a cycle in our life, and it makes us feel so much better, doing this cycle. So that's one way, sprouting, composting is one way. What else? Go to nature park. Um, if there's river close by, enjoy the birds. It's springtime, so birds are singing everywhere. And just like you say, Mira, this is my first bundle contribution, so it's a bit overwhelming for me. And although I think this is an amazing time that I can connect with you, Mira, just like we are in the same room, right? We can hear clearly, I can see you so beautifully. And you're in Costa Rica. If I were to fly, that's so far away. And so I love it. But at the same time, the biggest, well, my first joy is like I open my door and go into my garden, and there's always something new. There's always something to discover in my garden. I'm sure that's the same story for you, right? You have a tropical garden, right?
Yeah, I love that in the tropics it's green all the time. Um, but on the other hand, we have to take bigger control because weeds and so-called weeds like pioneer plants tend to overgrow our precious trees. So yeah, we need a different approach in the tropics to gardening because we have so much organic matter, so much. It's just growing crazy. So, and then we need to control that. We chop and drop them and we take advantage because then we have a lot more mulch, which also decomposing super quickly. And so we just always mulching our trees and feed the soil and feed the plants, and then we can have some kind of order in our food forest, but it's more in the edge of chaos and order all the time and balancing. So it's a different approach than when you have a winter, when it's calm and then everything wakes up in 1-2 months, and then you have your harvest and you have your summer and autumn beautiful, abundant, amazing crops and garden, because that's an unbelievable abundance what you can get there in that 4-5 months, because you have a lot more sunshine. We have just 12 hours every day all the time, but that period is very, very abundant for your climate and very amazing. So it's different. There is no resting here. I mean, no resting for the plants, not resting for the pests. So bugs, they don't go to sleep or die when it's winter. So it's different, but I love the challenges here, and I love that it's always alive. It's always full of energy and just all the time. I love it.
I
Yes.
I can kind of imagine like summer here in Kyoto is quite intense as well. Um, yeah, but I mean I cannot say enough how I respect you for doing what you do. But do you hire someone? Do you get some help, someone's help? Because I mean that's a lot what you're doing.
Yeah, when we clear a new area, or we have a big job maybe, but we prefer to do it ourselves. So we try to design our system in a way family can do all the job, all the work, and ours a little bit too big for a family. So yeah, it's a bit more work than I would say it's optimal for a family. So in my design, I design a smaller piece of land. It's more than a half hectare, maybe 0.8 hectare, that I find it's 2 acre. I find that is an optimal size for a family to have a nice homestead and fruits all year round. And I also designed it in a different way because in our system we have a lot of fast growing supporting species and they require a lot of work. But I included slower growing support species like inga trees, ice cream bean trees, and legume trees, more legume trees than here, so they require less work. So it's yeah, we need to balance and we need to see how much work can we put in, and we need to be clear that how much work will it require, so we won't be surprised. So better to have clarity in that. And I personally prefer to be in the privacy of my own family. So I prefer to just take care of our piece of land ourselves. But when we expand, because we are very passionate about durian, we want more varieties and other tropical fruits, of course, but durian is our favorite. So we will have more land. And I think outside of our 1 hectare piece of land around the house and around our family food forest, I think we will have local help, and we have very good local friends here, and when we need help they come and everything is fine. It's just I prefer to be with my family. Yeah, that's how
And
it is for me.
what's the percentage of food that you eat come from your land at the moment?
Yeah, we have sugarcane all the time. Now it's pineapple season. We have papaya, bananas. These are the fast crops. We have the first jackfruits, like they are these big baby fruits, so it will come soon. We have the rollinia, what I showed. Yeah, I showed you bananas. These are
Oh, love.
like different kind of bananas. We have like 15 or more kind of bananas, and these are two. Yeah. Oh, star fruit. I have a star fruit here. We have star
Mhm.
fruit. Yeah. So these are the first crops, and now now things are, oh, we have rambutan, a lot of rambutan, but it was already here when we came, and also we have a lot of coconuts, and they were here when we came. Yeah, we have these, and we have greens, like tropical perennial greens, and that's it for now. Jackfruits are very exciting, and I think next year we will have our fruit trees are big, our durian trees are big. We have a lot of mango trees. We had the first small fruits on our mango trees, but it was very rainy this year. The dry season was not really dry, so I think the rain was too much for them, and they dropped the fruits. But it's okay; they will grow instead of fruiting this year, and next year I think we will have some mangoes as well. So it's exciting. It's an exciting period. So finally, we have harvest every day, and we are very excited. Like you said, of your vine full of flowers, and yeah, it's the first year. Sometimes they just flower, or maybe next year also just flower, but it's coming and more is coming. And when they start, it won't stop. They won't stop if we feed them well, if we give them back, if we give them compost and then just taking. And that's very important in permaculture, that we don't just take away, we always give back, even if it's our garden or our relationship with people or anything, we always give back, and that's very important.
Yes, truly. So is your whole family fully raw vegan, or what's the diet now?
I will answer this a moment later, but I ask back, what do you harvest from your garden?
I'm sorry?
What do you harvest on your garden, in your garden? What harvest do you have?
Okay, okay. Maybe
Yeah.
you didn't. Okay, so I'll ask you my question later. But okay, right now, so kiwi, there's plum tree, but Japanese plum tree. Do you know umeboshi? It's a Japanese pickle.
Uh-huh.
It yeah. So that I have quite a few, and then we have some lemon trees, some orange trees. Um, oh, there are some fig, fig trees. Um, what else? I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I planted a few others, but because it's only 2 years, less than 2 years, I started gardening. The fruits there are not too many fruits yet. I've harvested a few kiwis last year, which I thought it was like so tiny like this. But it was the most amazing kiwi I have ever eaten. It was so, so delicious. Oh, I have some strawberries. They are amazing. It was so, so sweet and very much of strong aroma. Um, and then I have daikon, like radish and stuff like that. So, um, um, then dills and quite a few herbs like coriander and stuff like that. Um, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. My garden is pretty small, but I find that the vines works really well. I have raisins as well, which I haven't. I have mulberry.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, I planted a lot, but I I'm forgetting quite a few. But it's every day it's amazing. Even winter time, which is very quiet here, it gets quite cold. But I feel like every time I go into my small garden, there's something new happening, and it's like an instant. It gives me so much smile and joy, and every time I go into my garden, I go, wow, oh my God. I'm sure my neighbor is thinking like, what's going on with my new neighbor?
Yeah, but that's how it is. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love it.
I wanted
Yeah,
to ask,
and
so Mira, so how's your diet now? Your family, how are you eating?
okay, I would like to. I will. share about this a little bit, and I also would like to listen to yours, and then I need to go to the farm. Just a little reminding. Yeah. So our diet is, we are fruit based. It means we eat the majority of our food fruits. And we do this for 10 years. We had periods when it was 100% raw, and like 5 years, in the first 5 years, and it was amazing. We traveled a lot in Asia, and we had the best foods ever, and it was so easy, and it was so beautiful. But on the other hand, it was not very beneficial for the children to travel as a lifestyle. So we decided to settle down, get our land, and plant our fruit trees. And in order to do that, to be able to do that, we made the decision to include some steamed veggies in our diet, because here in Costa Rica, it's not the best, there is not the best selection of fruits. It's a lot more expensive than in Asia. It's a lot narrower, the selection of the fruits on the market. So we don't put our all of our resources to get fruit, because we could do that, but we would have to stay away from the farm a lot more to get the best foods from the best places, and also we would have to spend a lot of money on fruit, which what we can spend on the farm instead, until it's going. So it gave us a big flexibility with the farm, to building up the farm. So we do it now to have steamed veggies in the evenings, not all evenings, and we always have periods of fully 100% raw. When we have rambutan, for example, and fruit season is here, then nobody wants to eat steamed carrots instead. We prefer fruits, but we eat some steamed veggies, and we eat very plainly. When we cook or steam, just steaming without any herbs or any spices or no salt. So it's very, very plain. And when we do something fun with food, that we do with raw food, so we make a raw vegan wrap or something that's always raw, because we would like to celebrate with raw food and fruits. So yeah, that's our diet now. And we have durian. So we always freeze durian. It's not ours yet. I mean, it doesn't grow on our place yet, doesn't fruit there, but we always, every year, we freeze a lot of durian, and the kids eat some durian almost every day. And I think it's very nutritious and very, it has a very good effect on them. They love it, and it really helps them to be satisfied, even when we don't have the big variety that we had in Asia. So that's how it is now. And our vision is to have our own fruit, and then it's not a question again, because all of us would switch our diet, our dinner, to a nice jackfruit or a nice cempedak or a durian. So yeah, that's how it is now. And how is it with you?
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so right now I'm mostly raw vegan. So my body is how do I say? My body is rejecting cooked food more and more. And sometimes I might eat something that looks very simple, but somehow I'm getting some negative effect. So at the moment I'm 99% raw vegan. But again, I think steamed food, that's great. No sauce, no oil involved. That's so healthy. I prefer to stay as much raw vegan as possible, but there are phases. So I'm not dogmatic of it. I mean, I could go to cooked food, fruit based, but some cooked food if my body desire it. But at the moment, now we are going into summer in Japan, so it will be
Yes.
more
Yeah.
raw vegan fruits and vegetables.
I had this, I have another experience that my body and my whole family feels it. We have a bad effect of commercial fruit. So we have to like when something is sprayed, we have symptoms, and we just, even if I don't know, it's came not didn't came from my it didn't come from my farmer who I know, because I am not the one who goes to the market, it's my husband. And sometimes he brings something and he doesn't mention that it's from someone else, and I can feel it. I have symptoms like I have rashes, skin rashes, and yeah, things like that. And I ask, okay, where is it coming from? I don't, it feels weird. And he says, oh yeah, I didn't say, your lady didn't have this one, and I brought from someone else. And yeah, so we try to balance between not optimal but good options, but not optimal options. And it's sometimes, for us, it turned out to have a better, it's a better option to get, for example, pumpkin from a trustworthy grower than have commercial mangoes in big quantity. Yeah, so we try to balance until we get ours, but we cannot wait to get enough for our family. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
remember living in Costa Rica. I had some issues. I thought that would be a raw vegan paradise, but I ended up having skin issues, even though
yes,
I'm 100% raw vegan. Yeah, they tend to spray a lot in
that's
Costa Rica. Mm.
yes, unfortunately. But we are here to change that, and we do a different approach.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to go. I need to go to my children, and the farm is waking up, so I have stuff to
that,
do. But it
that was
was really a pleasure to talk to you. I really loved it, so thank you.
that was amazing, Mira. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for taking time. I would love to connect with you whenever possible, but it was lovely
yes.
talking with you. Have a great day.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.